What's up, guys? It's Dalen Collins with Collins Collectibles, and we're going to be talking about the best deck in Master Duel right now. No questions asked. Take a look at my record. And notice the amount of loss, or the amount of turns that only took one turn, or the amount of games that only took one turn. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wins, 1 loss, 15 wins, and 1 loss. And we got 1 game, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games that have ended on turn 1 out of the 14 losses or wins. So, let's get into the deck profile. I know you want to know what's up. What's the best deck in the game to be playing with? It's Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade. Like, no bullshit, nothing. Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade. Deck profile, DD Crow because you can search it with Cobalt and Starling. Droll and Lockbird because it completely locks your opponent out of most decks this format. I love it as a hand trap. 3 Cobalt Sparrow, 3 Sapphire Swallow, 3 Warbler, 2 Canary, and 1 Celestine. Yeah, you only need 1 Celestine and 2 Canary just in case you banish one off of Desires. Onto the Try-brigade package, we got 3 Nerval, 3 Fractal, we got a Karas, and a Kit. You only need 1 Karas and 1 Kit because you only go through the loop 1 time on turn 1, and then you have your board set up, you don't need to use it again. Hand traps, we got the 2 Droll and Lockbird, like I said, the DD Crow, which is searchable, which is why you only need 1. Then you got 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Maxi, 2 Nibiru. Now, these are great unless you get a hand full of them, and then you can't do anything because you just have nothing but hand traps. That has been happening to me, but I still win. Onto the spells, we got 1 for 1, we got 3 Desires, 1 for 1 you special Cobalt Sparrow, you special Wagtail, you special Nerval. You can do a lot with 1 for 1. Then you got Pot of Desires, and then you got Bird Call. Bird Call is the Rhoda, and it also allows you to special summon. So it's great if you got a Warbler in your hand and you Bird Call into a Cobalt, but you already got a monster on the field, you can't just special Warbler. Well, now you can using the effect of Bird Call. And Tinky searches just Fractal. You just want to make sure you have the Try-brigade loop at least 1 time on your turn, so you got 6 Fractals in your deck. 2 Called by the Grave, just as another out to Maxi, along with Ash Blossom. You really need to out their Maxi if they've got one. On to the extra deck. We got the Utopic Future and the Future Draco package, which is easy because you make any 2 level 1s. Then you overlay them for Rectal Starling. You search a Canary. Use Canary's effect to special 1 from the graveyard. And then you overlay for another Canary. Then you search for a DD Crow because it doesn't say that it has to be a Lyrilusc monster. It says it can be any winged beast. Level 1 winged beast monster. So you search DD Crow, overlay them both for Utopic Future Draco, and then you just win. You got this one because it attacks directly, and then you go into Zeus if you are turn 2 and they got a board that you need to break, and you just Zeus them and win. Ensymblo for bouncing back any of their special summons. It's great when you end on an Ensymblo and you already have your board made of like Mist Valley Apex Avian, which I forgot to go over in the deck profile. Is what Smorg summons every time. You just go level 3, any 3. You can also slam this for with any of the Try-brigade's effects for removing 3 or banishing 3 of your Wing Beast Warrior monsters from the graveyard. You just slam down Smorg, and in end phase you make an Apex Avian, which is an Omni Negate. Negates anything, anything. All you gotta do is return to hand. So it's great for Regekis or anything that they have an out to. I mean, like, it wouldn't work against Droplet because you can't respond to Droplet, but pretty much works against everything. Alright, now we got Zeus, which you pretty much just go into Nightingale, make Zeus, then you get one wipe of their board, or if you make a huge Nightingale, you can get 2 wipes of their board. For the Link monsters, we got Almirage. This is very standard. You just make it with any of your monsters you normal summon, and it's another fodder for your access code. Another fire monster, so you can get an attribute to pop another card. Also, it'll make access code immune to card effects, or it cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. And it's pretty good. Then you got this, is you make it with, the only way you can make this is off of a Try-brigade effect for banishing 2. But it bounces back 1 card. All you have to do is send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, return it to hand. Well, boom. If you don't know what that card does, you will soon if you make it to Platinum. Then we got Try-brigade, Baron Blossom. This one allows you to special one of your monsters from hand. So any of you can special your Warbler for him and get its effect. It doesn't have to be special from its own effect to get its. If this is special summon from the hand, you can special summon 1 Lyrilusc from your hand or graveyard. Very, very good. Because some people don't know, if you go into Bird Call and you don't choose to add the card to your hand, it will then be sent to the graveyard. I don't know if that's how the card works in TCG, but on Master Duel, it might be bugged, it might not be. You can select the card, then it says, do you want to add it to your hand? You hit no, and it'll send it to graveyard. So it'll pop that Cobalt to the graveyard. This is important for Warbler if you already have, if you can't special from the hand for any reason, then you can just special it from the graveyard. There's been a lot of situations when I can special out a monster from the graveyard, like with Canary, and I can't use that Cobalt in hand. Like if I just have a Canary in my hand and a bunch of hand traps, then I would Lyrilusc, Bird Call for a Cobalt, but I wouldn't add it to my hand. I would send it to the graveyard by not adding it to my hand. Then I would use Canary to special it from the graveyard and get the effect of the Cobalt to search for a Warbler or a Swallow. Anyways, we got the Bird of Smorg. You'll see this every single game. If you go turn 1, if you go first, then you make this turn 1 every time. This is the automatic, like, summon Miss Valley Apex Avian. Then if you already have Apex Avian on the field at the end of your opponent's end phase, then you special out a Cobalt Sparrow, a Celestine, and pick yourself up a Bird Call or any Lyrilusc monster. This is just mainly to go into access code, so you can use the effect of a Try-brigade, special 3. Then you link that Try-brigade monster special with and this 3 cost for access code, making it 5,300, and gets a free pop with the Earth monster. Then we got Appaloosa, the Bow Goddess, and yeah, you make this turn 1 if you go first, and you can't make you took a Future Draco, then you want to make Appaloosa. Access code for the OTKs, and then Shirag. And we're going to go over 1 game that I have to show just what you can do. In this game, I didn't even have any Lyrilusc monsters to really use, but you'll see what I'm talking about. This game lasted 2 turns. Let's begin. Alright, so I go first. And as you can see, how do I pause? Oh, here it is. As you can see, I have just 2 Fractals, a Nibiru, a Tinky, which is going to allow me to search another Fractal, and a Cobalt Sparrow. There's nothing really I can do here other than the Try-brigade loop. So we go Tinky. I'm just searching for any Ash Blossoms. His deck protector is Ash Blossom, so you never know, he could have an Ash Blossom. If he would have Ash Blossom, that would have meant nothing, so I start off with it. Then we start with the loop. He doesn't got Ash Blossom. You go Kit. Get to Nerval. Nerval gives you Keras. And then I'm going to summon Fractal for a 2, specialing my Cobalt Sparrow from hand, using the effect of Barren Blossom. Then we're going to get Sparrow to search for a Canary. Then we're going to make a Smorg, because you have to. Yeah. And then we're going to summon Keras after we dump the Celestine, which is like the perfect card to search. Because now you're going to get the Celestine's effect off of Binary. And I'm going to make Appaloosa, the Bow Goddess. This is all because I didn't start with anything other than 3 Fractal and a Cobalt Sparrow. So we got Bow Goddess, and now we're going Canary into Celestine, which is going to allow me to search for Bird Call, which I don't actually need this turn, because I'm only going to be able to Xyz after I use Canary. Go Robin. Now, off of that 1 Fractal that I needed, the other 2 were just sort of like fodder that could be discarded. And the 1 Cobalt Sparrow, we've made a Smorg, an Appaloosa at 2400, and an Ensemble that can bounce back special summons. So let's see what you can do, man. I'm gonna hit the board. Alright, this guy actually plays it out pretty quick. He does this card, Herald of the Abyss, which makes your opponent must send 1 card to the graveyard of the declared attribute. And he selects Wind. All my cards are Wind, so you must put 1 of them to the graveyard. I'll just negate it because I was going to do Apex Avian anyways. So I'll negate that. Then he's going to use a monster effect in hand, which is going to allow him to pay. How much does he have to pay here? I'll pay 500 life points. You can discard this and add 1 level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. No. So it's a Rhoda monster effect. Negate that with Appaloosa. And then he thinks Appaloosa is only once per turn, so he slams another one. Guess what, dude? Appaloosa again. Alright, so just off of the Apex Avian and Appaloosa, using its effect twice, his 6-card hand has been reduced to 3 cards. Let's see what else he can do. He's just desperate to summon a monster. Okay, now he's going into Pendulum summoning. He's got nothing that he can actually summon. But this card right here is going to allow him to pop and place an additional Pendulum card there, which will put that, you'll see what he does. Put that over here, that gives him a card to summon, and that is going to reduce the attack of my Appaloosa by 400, so it will not get its effect anymore. And all these Pendulum effects are not monster effects. They cannot be negated by Appaloosa. Any effect that goes on in the Pendulum zone is a Pendulum effect. It is not a monster effect. You cannot use Appaloosa to negate Pendulum effects. So he's just going off. He summoned special summons from the graveyard. I know he hasn't used his normal summon yet, but I'm trying to make him use his Pendulum summon and his normal summon, so he'll be done with his turn after he's done with that. So I bounce back his card. He drops the 0 into 6. Now he's gonna Pendulum summon. The card in his hand, the card in his extra deck. Bounce back the card from his hand. He'll normal summon it again. He's used all of his resources. And he'll slam into my Ensemble, which is going to bounce back my Canary, which will make a Xyz play next turn. Then he's going to make this card, which is actually his 5th summon, Nibiru. And as you guys are going to know, that's game. Alright guys, if you guys think this is the best deck, or if you don't, leave a comment below. I'm on a 14 win streak with it, and I'm still going. I have not lost yet, so we'll see how big of a win streak that actually gets to. And thank you guys for watching. Peace, and see you on the next episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.